What's going on, Internet? I'm Christopher Peterson, one of your co-hosts, and you're listening to the NerdEXP podcast. Today I'm here with
Guillermo,
Drew,
Eddie.
If you're coming back, thanks. But if it's your first time, well, you're in for a treat. We're going to review this week's top entertainment headlines, tell you what games we're most anticipating for 2014, maybe delve into a little soccer talk, and tell you what we've been playing and watching. The point of all this? To start a conversation and help you level up your nerd IQ. If you want to be part of the discussion, email us at nerdexp@gmail.com. Feel free to review us on iTunes, and if you give us 5 stars, we'll read whatever you say on there. Kicking off with headlines, for this weekend box office, 22 Jump Street beats How to Train Your Dragon 2. 22, I feel like this is only kind of newsworthy because 22 Jump Street is a rated R movie, which typically does tremendously horrible. But Dragons was, a great movie. I loved the crap out of it. You can read my review online. And I was surprised. And I don't know if Father's Day is what really decided it. Because on Sunday, kids were like, let's go see Dragons. And Dad was like, no, it's my day. We're not seeing a kid's movie.
I saw 22 Jump Street, and it wasn't the best movie. I would give it a C+.
how did it compare to the first movie?
I liked 21 Jump Street a lot better than 22 Jump Street. I didn't even know How to Train Your Dragon had come out this weekend. If I had known, I would have gone to go see How to Train Your Dragon because I loved the first movie.
To me, it felt, even when the first How to Train Your Dragon came out, it seemed that it was somewhat quiet. It didn't seem like DreamWorks is really spending that much on advertisement and previews. I mean, I saw the previews and whatnot, but it still was pretty quiet. I mean, even before the movie came out, the toys were already clearing out of stores.
Wow.
So I guess they're just banking on video releases now. So.
22 Jump Street had a lot of advertisement all over the NBA Finals. They were all over. I went to Buffalo Wild Wings. They were on Buffalo Wild Wings little trivia pads. I saw 22 Jump Street more often than I did How to Train Your Dragon. So maybe it's selling crap nicer. It's like selling this piece of crap. Hey, look at this.
But I mean, I think the audience for 22 Jump Street or 22nd Jump Street, you have to advertise to that crowd. I mean, what's the point of advertising to a bunch of little kids? Because they already know what's coming out. They don't need to be, to read it on bumper stickers. Half of them can't even read. So, so that's I guess the whole point with that. You don't need to spend that much on advertisement. It is surprising that even though it did beat it, it wasn't that much money. All these movies this summer are it's a slow summer. I mean, good releases and everything, but just a slow summer.
22 Jump Street came in at $60 million, making it the second largest rated R movie take ever. And then How to Train Your Dragon 2 came in at 50, which is still open higher than How to Train Your Dragon. So it's still a success for DreamWorks and that franchise. Mm-hmm. It's kind of one of those things when you compare it, they expected probably to win the weekend with, all the good buzz and reviews, and that just didn't happen. I will say, I think that coming out next week, we have The Rover, Jersey Boys, and Think Like a Man 2. I wouldn't be surprised if How to Train Your Dragon 2 has more staying power and actually ends up being the number 1 release its second week.
Jersey Boys is also rated R, so and I don't think too many people know about it.
Well,
I think Like a Man 2.
The right audiences do, though. I think, the right audiences for Jersey Boys definitely know about it. I mean, it's a Clint Eastwood movie made about old times, made for old people, man. So it's a proven idea. There's no way it can go wrong as far as the concept. I think it's a win.
Broadway fans will probably go see it.
Yeah, I mean, fans of the Four Seasons will go see it. Fans of Clint Eastwood will go see it. I didn't see any big stars that came out of the movie, like any big headliners.
From how all the movies have done this summer, I think Transformers is going to just blow up.
Oh, what an interesting thing for somebody to say. Maybe if we go back to a previous podcast, we'll see if somebody was right.
Then we did talk about... Yeah, that's right. Because of your prediction, we got to make that kid We got to make sure that he's good. But that prediction was also, we guessed what was the biggest movie of the year, right? And then we specified the summer, and you kept both, correct?
I would have to play back the tape.
Yeah,
because I talked about Interstellar, and you guys.
Why? What is?
I don't know why.
We were talking about the most anticipated movies and then the biggest bombs.
Yeah.
So the biggest bombs we said was going to be Edge of Tomorrow, which has good word of mouth. Like, I haven't heard anything.
I don't know who said that was going to be the biggest bomb.
I don't remember.
I probably did. I said it was
The Edge of Tomorrow?
Edge of Tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
If anybody said Jupiter Ascending, did they win by default?
It's
Zero this year.
It's a critical success, at least.
Right.
Edge of Tomorrow.
I hear good things. about that film.
Yeah, it's good word of mouth.
Another movie you might have heard about good things is Star Wars Episode 7.
What's that?
Recently, an actor, a
Quit spoiling
little
it for me.
little indie guy, Harrison Ford, ended up injuring his ankle on set, and rumors suggest that he will be out for 2 months. What do you guys think about this?
CGI. They're gonna Jeff Bridges him.
Well, it's kind of scary because a couple weeks prior they said, Han Solo is going to be the biggest Han Solo film that they made. So this kind of screws everything. I think in a couple weeks we're going to see it's not a summer release or it's not a December release anymore. It's
No,
going to be
they're not going to delay it.
Oh, they'll definitely delay it.
I don't think so. I don't see it. I mean, they're already planning way ahead. I think they're ahead of schedule. They could have made a summer 2015 release.
Yeah, but if your central character, it's on a wheelchair because he can't walk, how's he going to make anything work other than sitting scenes? Which, I hope the only place he's sitting is in the Millennium Falcon, but that's where he got hurt anyways. So,
I mean, you bring up the point of him being the central character. I was shocked when I heard rumors that, they were stopping filming because of this injury. And I'm like, is Han Solo in every freaking scene?
No, so the whole deal is because somebody got hurt, by the Actors Guild, their reunion or whatever, they have to investigate, and the investigation might shut down the entire production until they figure out what went wrong. The fact that there hasn't been that many details announced, that means that it's like an ongoing investigation, and that most likely they are going to be finding some people, or they might just straight up shut them down until they fix whatever they come up with a safety plan. So
hopefully they don't make them use more green screens.
He hurt himself. I know it's not the same thing. Spider-Man After Dark was killing people left and right. They never shut production down for that. I didn't know that. That's crazy.
I didn't know that either because people get hurt on set all the time.
Yeah, but this is Harrison Ford. Imagine the insurance that they have on Harrison Ford. I mean, they could.
Point.
So that's why before an insurance agency, all these delays are going to get paid for by somebody, and most likely it's an insurance agency. And that insurance agency is definitely going to go find out if they can blame it on the guy who didn't screw the door all the way, way in, and the door swung right on the freaking guy's foot, which is my understanding from what had happened.
There's
Apparently,
rumors of a pelvic injury.
That's what scares me, and that's why I think it's probably the 8 weeks. It's because of this pelvic injury. Listen, Harrison Ford is an old man, regardless of what he's doing. He trips, he falls. He's an older guy, and his recovery time is going to be a little while.
Maybe I don't use my pelvic the same way Harrison Ford does, but how does a door hitting your foot
From a fall. Apparently, from what I've been reading and whatnot, he caught his foot on the door, which caused him to trip and fall.
Interesting. Staying with Star Wars, a couple guys here ended up going to the Star Wars weekend over at Hollywood Studios. Drew and Guillermo, what did you guys see? What did you guys like?
So this year, out of the 5 weekend, no, there was 6 weekends? No, 5 weekends this week. This week was the last one. So this is the first time they brought a 5th week. Usually it's just 4 weeks. This was the first year that they brought 5 weeks. Out of the 5 weeks, I went to 3 of them. So I went
to 2.
Yeah, so we went to the 2nd week, 3rd week, and the 4th week. The 4th week being the biggest one, which was when Mark Hamill got invited to be visit the park or be part of the event. So that's when we went. The day, I guess, we'll just give it a recount of our day. So the week prior to that, we had scouted out everything. We watched every show. The way they do the Star Wars weekends is they have different shows for the different hosts and guests that they have during that day.
Uh-huh.
There's the guy who's the main host of the event, James Arnold Taylor. He's going to be also doing the hosting duties in the celebration convention up in California. So he's I guess he's getting more and more Star Wars fame, and he's also the voice of Obi-Wan Kenobi in the animated series of the Clone Wars. So he's the host of the whole thing, and he has this he has his own show. Then there's the girl Ashley Eckstein who does she has her own line of Star Wars clothing for women, which is pretty cool designs, and everybody's crazy about these things. Her universe, her universe.
And
she has her own show.
Her clothes there, of course.
She has her own show, and then
Aren't you short for a stormtrooper?
The first week we went, I guess whoever's the visiting guest, they get their own show, like a talk show, and then I think that's pretty much what it is, and maybe depending on somebody. And then the big event is what's called the motorcade, which is when all the guests, they bring him into the park, so to speak, and they go around the main street, and they're just sitting in cars, and
Commandos.
that's the closest I think I'll ever be to Mark Hamill. Within 6 feet of Mark Hamill.
Did you guys learn anything about either Episode 7 or any of the previous Star Wars entries that you didn't know beforehand?
So pretty peculiar things happened. So the first week that we went, we definitely wanted to find out more about the Star Wars Rebels and
which was the theme of the whole Star Wars weekends this year.
What's Star Wars Rebels?
Rebels is the new Star Wars cartoon that's going to be airing on Disney XD.
Yep.
I believe this year.
It starts in the.
I think it's fall.
In the fall, yeah.
So it focuses on a group of
rebels.
I guess they're not quite rebels yet. I don't know.
It's the beginning of the rebellion. Beginning of the rebellion.
It follows the beginning of the rebellion.
Is it canon?
Yes,
it is canon.
Okay, tell me why.
Big time. And, I mean, there have been rumors of characters showing up in Star Wars 7 as well. So, but I mean.
Freddie Prinze Jr. is going to be in Episode 7?
Which was one of the biggest surprises.
A small clip of him recording, all the main cast recording.
So one of the, I guess, the announcements that they made there, they brought a scene that, never before seen. I can't confirm or deny it whether I've seen it. I had never seen it before then.
I'm sure it's not even on the internet.
Yeah.
They told everyone to put their phones away.
Yeah.
The Rebels?
Yeah.
What about people with Google Glass?
Not many were wearing them.
Those are kind of obvious.
But it looks pretty cool. It looks like it's for being a cartoon on Disney and whatnot, it looks like it's going to be entertaining.
Does it look better than Clone Wars?
It looks just about the same. It's the same guy, same.
Just a little corny.
It's a kid's cartoon, so you got to
humor.
Yeah, you got to take that.
But I'm excited about focusing on the rise of the rebellion because. Yeah.
I think when I watched Clone Wars, and it kind of took me off because they really relied on those characters who like Yoda showing up and speaking, and backwards Yoda speak every single sentence, which I don't feel he's that aggressive, or at least he doesn't have that many lines.
Right.
And, Anakin and Obi-Wan, and they didn't really feel like themselves. So it might be a good decision for them to use a cast of characters who you don't know, you're not familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
I think for the show to succeed, they would have to not have Darth Vader and Palpatine be the big bad and not have Obi-Wan show up and save the day or Lando, and just kind of focus on unique stories. Which
I guess brings the big, I guess, surprising to me, and maybe it's just because I don't keep up with internet rumors, is Billy D. Williams was one of the guests during the weekend of Mark Hamill. So it was Billy D. Williams, Mark Hamill, and Ray Park were the big three during week 4. Billy D. Williams, during his talk show, he did confirm that, I just finished voice acting for Rebels. He did not say for what character. But
other character is going to be
right, but
young Lando Calrissian.
That's the only thing that would make sense. So it is rumored that in that same Rebels show, there's going to be a young Han Solo. So it would definitely make sense that you bring in a little, a young Lando into it. But the biggest event was Mark Hamill. So it was that Friday, by the time we got there around opening, I mean, there was already a big crowd. Definitely, it was rumored that people were sleeping since the day before.
Yeah, totally. I have pictures of that. It's ridiculous.
So we got there enough time, and I think due to poor planning, we missed one of the big events as part of actually being in the theater whenever he made his presentation, which was a Friday, the first day. He only did this, exclusive show about Mark Hamill only on the Friday. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, so only on the Friday.
What?
The other days they combined it with the other shows.
That's awesome.
So the Fridays where he had a whole, hour-long show about Mark Hamill, just a conversation with Mark Hamill.
Really?
In there, the first thing...
Closer to an hour and a half, really.
Yeah, the first thing that he did, or they asked him about is, have you been doing anything lately? And he's like, yeah, I might be in a film. And this, he talks about his facial hair as being, annoying and having to, wear it. So that kind of confirms that's the Luke, the new Luke
Bearded
look.
Luke.
Yeah.
Reference to Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
Circa A New Hope.
He pulls it off. I think it looks very... I think I've seen some artwork from the, from the books and the expanded universe where that same look is used, and it's dead on. I mean, it looks pretty cool. He also talked about, that he was, I guess, filming already, and what else did he give away? I guess that was.
He didn't give anything else away other than the beard, but he did take an aside to point out his feelings on spoilers.
Yeah,
and the set photo leaks, actually, which we talked about.
You must be
in the
listening
last
to our
podcast.
podcast.
That's right. That's what we felt.
We
the
are
day
so
after
ahead
that.
of the curve.
He said he finds them annoying, and he wishes that people wouldn't do that. Basically,
I find them annoying too.
He used the word annoying,
which is almost funny how often we do kind of bring up rumors and some speculation, and maybe just try and just the facts. But my big concern is episode 7 specifically is coming out December 2015. We're going to hear about it every single day for the rest of our lives until December 2015 and beyond that. I mean, there's almost no chance that this movie will live up to that much hype and buildup of years and years and years and just constantly being bombarded.
Well, I think it's definitely doable. This is the one that anything they reveal about the plot of that movie is a spoiler. It's not like when they were doing episode 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
You knew that, at some point Anakin's going to turn and he's going to, wear the Darth Vader mask.
Yeah.
So this is pretty careful, but it was interesting to hear him, just talking about Mark Hamill is how really appreciative he is of his fans and the Star Wars people, to the point that when he was saying thank you, he was like tearing up almost. He's like, I got to stop myself before I start tearing up.
He's not that good of an actor.
And he is not that good of an actor.
Sorry, Mark.
So definitely, that would, if even though we were in a theater, pretty not in the same theater he was in, we were watching it a live telecast. You still felt that even through the screen. The guy was complete honest person, complete honest guy. So it was definitely interesting to hear him. Plus, if you want to check out some videos online, one of the coolest highlights was him, due to a fan request, they requested that he'll do a dialogue between his Joker and Luke Skywalker. So he does this little bit, and it was just dead on perfect. It definitely worth a watch. So merchandise was pretty cool this year. Again, everything was focused on the Rebel theme and the Rise of the Rebellion. So merchandise was based on that. And then to close the nights off, there was the what they call the Symphony of the Stars, which was Hollywood Studios usually doesn't have a fireworks show, but for this special event for Star Wars weekends, they had a fireworks, which were themed towards with Star Wars music and a pre-show, Star Wars pre-show. And I've seen plenty of fireworks at Disney. I think this one is just too cool, and I hope they bring it back more and more. Other than just Star Wars weekends, it was an awesome event. So
next year's Star Wars weekend is going to be ridiculous because it's actually the year that the movie's going to be released.
Yeah.
Right.
So maybe I'll join you guys next year for Star Wars weekend.
That's an absolute must. And from my experience, and I think Drew's experience it for more than just one weekend. Completely worth it.
Yeah, because you try to cram everything into one visit, and it's not pleasant, I guess.
Yeah, and then make sure that you go in with the mindset of, rock and roller coaster can wait. You're going there for Star Wars weekend. You're going there to just wait in line, and as soon as you get out of the show, you go and wait in line again for another hour.
We underestimated the fans. We thought everyone would want to see the parade with, Mark Hamill in it before they got in line to see Mark Hamill's show. Not true.
Yeah. So it was definitely quite an experience.
It worked out well. They planned well with setting up screens throughout the park so people could watch it elsewhere.
I mean, yeah, definitely worth definitely a highlight. So
especially if they get somebody on the level of Luke Skywalker.
I don't think you can. I mean, yeah, you bring Harrison Ford, which I don't. Even next year, I think the next person is they'll bring Mark Hamill back, and maybe they'll bring Princess Leia, Carrie Fisher.
Carrie Fisher, yeah.
The one person that I think
Adam Driver.
Yeah, you got to bring somebody new.
People,
yeah.
And then
or J.J. Abrams.
Well, that's the whole deal. J.J. Abrams did send an exclusive video of him saying, I know you guys are in Star Wars weekends. I would have been there if I didn't have this film to shoot. I'm in London shooting this film, so I'll see you guys next time. So, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that could be the place where they premiere some big sneak peek into the world. And so
now he's not going to be able to go because of Harrison Ford.
Yeah. He's going to be still editing. So,
all right. We have a new Ant-Man director. Peyton Reed was chosen to fix Edgar Wright's gap. You might not know the guy's name, but you probably know his work. He's directed Yes Man, The Breakup, Down with Love, Bring It On, and a host of TV shows and kind of other movies. So, I mean, they're still sticking with a comedy-themed director. What do you think about this, Edgar?
I really liked Bring It On. I liked, and I thought Yes Man was a nice rejuvenation for Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
And it also introduced like Zoe Deschanel, who a lot of people didn't know.
Yeah.
So I have no problems with this. I like comedy in action movies. Like, it's hard to do sometimes, but Iron Man really showed how you can make something as serious as like, taking like the like basically like putting comedy in a real drama. So heck, I can't wait to see this movie. I can't wait to see what he does with it because he did such a good job with Iron Man in comedy and action and drama. So,
and it goes to a point too. I mean, the universe, the Marvel universe is so set at this point that anybody, no, I wouldn't say anybody, but the majority of people are going in there to direct somebody else's movie. They already know which direction they got to go. The script is already done. They don't really like to deviate much from the script. So the guy is really just going to be calling the shots and make sure that he gets a movie made.
Bringing up the script, they kind of snuck this in here with the announcement.
Right.
Adam McKay is doing a rewrite. So Edgar Wright
himself and reporting that he wasn't going to direct, but he didn't mention anything about writing.
So.
Rewriting, I guess, could be good. I know we've talked about this in previous.
Well, I mean,
Adam McKay writing.
Yeah, I mean,
Right,
Edgar
rewriting, right?
Wright.
I thought you were saying
Not
Reed writing.
Oh,
Like Peyton Reed.
No, Edgar Wright, it just, the movie I'm sure that he left in his script was the movie he wanted to make. So as soon as he steps out, they say, all right, there's some elements here we're not comfortable with. Who can come in here and just try to tweak him a little bit? So they picked a good script writer. So he definitely has, his movies have definitely smart scripts or smart jokes, I guess, or unique jokes, I guess. It's not even smart, but but it's the right thing, and even through this chaos, we didn't hear it anymore so far. No snowball effect just yet that, whether, somebody announcing that they're no longer involved with the movie on the acting part, which I think it's one of the parts that I'm most excited about is seeing Paul Rudd in this role.
When we talked about the Harrison Ford injury setting the release of Episode 7 back, Marvel has stayed firm to their 2015 date for this movie coming out. I can't remember, July.
Yeah.
Got script rewrites and everything. A year out. That's what makes me the most nervous. I know Marvel's had nothing but successes, but kind of I wonder how high they're sitting on that horse, and thinking that all right, everything's going to turn out right no matter what, because we're Marvel at this point.
That could be the case. Could be the case.
I wonder if you're going to have an Ant-Man like Edgar Wright edition cut.
No,
Just like
there's
just like the Donner cut of Superman. It's like they're going to have two different versions.
Jason Momoa, if
Who?
I ever pronounce that. Who?
Who?
Khal Drago from Game of Thrones.
Count Dracula?
Khal Drago.
Oh, like Count Dracula's in Game of Thrones?
The non-Game of Thrones person.
Has been chosen to play Aquaman in Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice.
I like this casting. I really like Jason Momoa. I think he's an underrated actor, and he definitely needs
You
more
like the
work,
Conan the
more
Barbarian?
big profile work. He was fine in it. I mean, not really my kind of movie, but I have seen it. My girlfriend owns it. She loves Jason Momoa, of course.
There's too many people in this kitchen. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. There's way too many chefs in this kitchen. Everyone's going to have 30 seconds of screen time, and then that's it.
Yeah, but Dawn of Justice, they had, they went and announced that. It's the Justice League movie, so you got to introduce everybody. And I think a Justice League movie without Aquaman would have been incomplete.
What is Aquaman's origin? Is he a human
Atlantis.
before he gets his power?
No, he's a resident of Atlantis.
He is a
He's like
hybrid.
Thor.
He's a hybrid.
He's already a god.
One of his parents is an Atlantean,
Yeah,
and then one of his parents is a
human.
regular human.
Okay.
Don't remember which.
I think the dad was the
I think so,
Atlantean.
too.
Yeah, because his dad is Triton.
That's a sad origin story. Let's see if he can survive in the ocean. We don't know what he is yet. Okay, let's toss him in there. Okay, cool. He's half.
It'll be interesting because then he brings that whole new, I guess, universe to superheroes into the water. Now this guy's themed around the water. So it will be really interesting to see how they bring that element and combine them with all the other superheroes at this point. I mean, you got the flying, Superman, mostly terrestrial Batman, and
I wonder what
you
side
got-
Aquaman's going to be on. Is he going to be a Superman side or Batman side? Who's what? I guess Wonder Woman's going to side with Superman, right?
Traditionally, yeah.
We'll see.
Remember how I said I hate rumors and speculation? Well, the
Yeah.
rumor and speculation on this
oh
is
gosh,
that the World Destroyer from Krypton that Superman was trying to fight in Man of Steel
Yeah.
screwed up with the water. And that's why, Arthur Curry comes out and is all angry and upset and is like, hey, what's going on here? You guys are messing up my kingdom down here.
really?
So that's why he comes into the story.
Lex
Because-
Luthor is polluting the water. Got it.
I mean, Jason's a good cast choice, from a physicality standpoint. All these guys are ripped, and are going to be freaking monsters. It's going to be, Superman's supposed to be the strongest, but he might actually be the smallest of the bunch.
Again, Aquaman. To me, a pretty big component of the DC universe, and you go for a actor that's not very well known. Again,
I think that can work out for you. When Maleficent came out, the whole time I was watching that movie, I was like, hey, that's Angelina Jolie. There was never a time when I felt like she owned that role. It was just always Angelina Jolie on screen. So I think sometimes having somebody who you don't know their name, who you haven't seen them in a million other things, they can bring their own perspective, even if it is the only role they ever do. That's what you'll assign them to instead of themselves.
wonder why then, with that philosophy, if that's the philosophy they're going for, what led them to Ben Affleck?
Ben Affleck was the bomb in Phantoms.
So, with that philosophy, that's why it's so confusing which way they're going with this thing.
And Jesse Eisenberg. I would have loved an unknown Lex Luthor. But they went for Jesse Eisenberg, who's known.
Those are the only two guys though. Gal Gadot. What are you going to... Oh, the 5 minutes she was on Fast and Furious 6.
And she dies.
Henry
Spoiler. Whoops.
What?
Henry Cavill?
Not
Nobody-
confirmed.
That's
She
right.
disappeared.
She disappeared. That's right. We never do find out.
Spoilers. She's dead. All right, she is dead.
I watched that terrible movie that Henry Cavill was in
Immortals?
with
That was
Mickey
so
Rourke.
bad. That
I was
was
like,
so
I'm gonna get
bad.
to see Superman. No, this movie's so bad. I didn't know much about him.
It was a total rip-off of 300,
Yeah.
which isn't that great in itself.
Directed by Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
So, Snyder's going to direct Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. And then after that, there's a leaked schedule for DC movies that are coming out that Kevin Smith's confirmed, because he's a jerk and hates Warner Brothers and doesn't want any of their secrets. And everybody seems to agree with. I feel like it's kind of aggressive. So May, we got Batman Superman 2016. July 2016, we have Shazam. Shazam is Billy Batson, the kid who says the magic word Shazam and turns into a superhero that's basically Superman, level powers.
Doesn't he kick his ass?
He's a child, 8.
Wow.
Or younger, depending on how they want to depict it.
Doesn't Shazam kick Superman's ass often?
Yes.
Yes. That's what's so cool. I like Shazam.
Sandman, is that
I don't know anything about Sandman.
He's a good guy. He was part of Justice Society. I don't really know a lot about him. He's pretty street level, as far as his abilities are concerned. Then we got Justice League officially in May 2017, followed by Wonder Woman July 2017. Christmas, we have Flash and Green Lantern team up.
3 in 1 year, Jesus.
And then
that's a lot of
May 2018, you finally get your Man of Steel 2 sequel.
Yeah,
That's right.
Superman Solo.
Batman vs. Superman 2.
The Superman.
If they can do it, that's fantastic.
And there's a story of how this schedule got leaked, right?
I don't know the story.
I think they were preparing it. I want to say it was for E3 that they were preparing.
It says here Comic-Con.
Or they're preparing it for Comic-Con.
Yeah,
Comic-Con is not until
soon.
July. Comic-Con is mid-July, or towards the end of July, and maybe that's what they were preparing it for, but I think it had something to do with
That's where they made their big reveal last year. The Batman vs. Superman.
Comic-Con. Right? So they'll definitely bring it in. That is the place to make any kind of announcement. That's right.
Good for DC, but I hope these movies don't suck, because then it's quantity over quality, and Marvel will always win.
Will they use Ryan Reynolds as Green Lantern?
I hope
No.
No, I think even Ryan Reynolds himself said no.
But he's okay with the Deadpool movie if they do that.
That's
I think if they do Green Lantern, I think they need to do Jon Stewart.
yeah, Jon Stewart.
He was second
Dwayne
or
Rock
third.
Johnson.
Possibly.
Yeah.
I think
Another ripped.
I think Dwayne Johnson's Shazam.
Really?
Yeah, what little kid doesn't want to say a magic word and turn it into the freaking Rock?
Yeah.
He'd be a great headliner. He definitely has the physicality for it. He's not that great of an actor. He does a good job, but he's not great. So, if you got a kid who could do all the more
Actual acting.
all he has to do is become Shazam and just sit there, look cool, and kick ass, which, that's what he likes to do.
I like Shazam. I like his little cape, he wears a matador. I like the fact that he kicks Superman he kicks Superman's ass often. I like that he's still a little boy that still has to go to school. I liked him in the Justice League cartoons that I watched, Justice League Unlimited, where he came out of nowhere and helped Superman. So I'm excited for Shazam. Basically all of them except Sandman, which I don't know anything about.
Do you know if there's any release date set for Thor 3?
No, nothing official.
I'm assuming that would be
Somewhere
2016
in there.
as well, and Captain America's 2016.
Iron Man 4 maybe?
The
What
way
do you
they
mean?
had to sign Robert Downey Jr. for more movies,
Mhm.
I don't know if there'll be another Iron Man 4. I think they might just save him
maybe
for
some
What,
Avengers
big
2,
movies?
Avengers 3, and then
Well, today,
recast after
one of
that.
the news that also came out is Mark Ruffalo saying, I could possibly do a Hulk movie. So that means somebody mentioned it to him.
Yeah.
The whole time there's been no, there's no Hulk movie. We're done with making the Hulk movies. And then I think today, I read something, and I'm actually just confirming it here. He did say that he would entertain the idea to a Hulk movie if it got done correctly.
Who doesn't want money?
I think Mark Ruffalo is the best Hulk that we've seen. I think he's good enough to play a Hulk, for a full
I
length
thought
feature.
Ed Norton was a great
I do too.
Eric Banner. Eric Banner.
I may be unpopular. I really liked Eric Bana. I really liked Eric Bana and the Hulk.
He was too
I don't like Eric
too
Bana.
non-scientific
No,
for
I liked him in Troy. He was
Nope.
good in Troy too.
it.
Munich?
Yeah, Munich.
Spielberg.
I was going to say, as good as Mark Ruffalo's Hulk was under Joss Whedon's direction in Avengers, I don't know if the Hulk can carry a movie as successfully as some of the others.
How about Hulk and Iron Man together?
I wouldn't mind a buddy cop. That's giving me a lot of playoff. Everybody keeps clamoring for Black Widow solo. It's like, oh, look at the great scenes that she had. She's a support character. I mean, she's a support character in the comics. She's a support character in the movies. That's her role. Not everybody, needs to be or should be a headliner.
Give her a TV show.
Like Hawkeye.
I don't want to see a Hawkeye movie.
Or like a Maria Hill movie. I can't get this Excel to work. I need to call IT.
So last week, E3, the Electronic Entertainment Expo, came out, and there were a crap ton of announcements from all the major first-party studios, third-party studios, and developers releasing a lot of games. Way more than we can realistically cover here in a short breath. I would say, as far as stuff that came out, people were pretty excited about. Microsoft is doing, Halo 5 Guardians, and they're continuing that. They're doing a collection of all the Master Chief games for the Xbox One. PlayStation is coming out with an Uncharted 4. They've had a lot of behind-the-scenes problems, but they're staying true to their 2015 deliverable date for that. EA came out, showed off some Mass Effect prototype for Mass Effect 4. BioWare's working on another new IP that they haven't announced yet.
Nice.
EA definitely has their eyes on the future. Ubisoft's big announcement was Assassin's Creed coming out next gen, console only, will support a 4-player co-op throughout the entire campaign. And then, Nintendo had a lot of announcements. Drew, what were some of your favorite Nintendo announcements?
Nintendo.
Super Smash Brothers.
Zelda open world.
Stuff that was already known about. They talked about a Zelda production, but it hadn't shown anything from it. They showed the first footage from the game. They're doing the cell shading style graphics again, which I'm okay with. I prefer the darker Twilight Princess, Ocarina of Time sort of style, but what's most exciting about it is the open world, kind of Oblivion's Skyrim level world. You just are thrown into it, and they're saying you're just going to start and just go. You decide where to go. Kind of supposed to be a throwback to the first Zelda. You just appear on the map and you go, and you got to figure out what dungeons are best to go to first and all that. So that's definitely, I think, their most
commercial
anticipated and
game that's going to be coming out.
They definitely had to show something, or everyone would have said.
Was there a new Mario game announced at all?
No.
Mario
Maker. No,
which is the create your own world, and now you get to play it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they're doing classic NES Mario, or you can do New Super Mario Brothers style as well. But all they showed, as far as I saw, was the classic Mario.
Interesting about that is, even if you choose the new Super Mario Brothers graphical look, it only sticks with the original Mario Brother mechanics. So you can't pick up turtle shells or anything more advanced that they introduced in later series. It's still just jumping and fireballs.
It's a 2D platform.
Yeah. You have to beat the level before you can publish it. So you can't just create something with 1,000 Hammer Bros dropping hammerheads on people all the time and expect somebody to figure it out.
So that's the whole deal. You create it, and then you're able to share it, and people get to download it.
I'm excited just to play other people's levels. I don't feel I'm really creative enough.
Well,
to
it's this Nintendo, I guess, being late to the game with what was the PlayStation game?
Little Big Planet.
Little Big Planet. That was the main.
Right.
Little Big Planet 3 was announced at E3, and they're going to have 4 playable characters. I personally don't care. I played Little Big Planet 2, really floaty controls. People who like to build stuff in that game like to build stuff in that game, but it's not really fun to play.
Okay.
Xbox is also doing a maker called Project Spark.
They had the Minecraft already.
I think after this, everybody will have Minecraft except for Nintendo.
Okay.
And then Nintendo also announced Amiibo, which is basically their little figurines, which are going to store data, kind of like Skylanders or Disney Infinity. I personally think that Nintendo is not going to support this half as well as fans are thinking they will. This is going to be the Wii Fitness Board, the Wii U Zapper, the Power Glove, the Super Scope, the Virtual Boy. It's just another add-on in their history of add-ons. The Nintendo Link cable, like that, they just don't do anything with. The good thing is the prototypes and everything they showed off look nice. Like these are
They look good on top of your TV or
Yeah,
entertainment center.
collectibles.
if these things are like $10, $15, like I could see Nintendo fans buying them as collectible statues, never
Right.
using them, and being okay with that.
I got excited when they showed a clip of Mario Kart 8 and said that it was going to be compatible with Mario Kart. So I don't know. They're talking about using it to level up characters
Level up,
rather
friends.
than adding characters. So I don't know how that's going to play out in a game like Mario Kart. But
Not two Marios will be the same.
yeah,
So if you're using it for Super Smash Brothers or you're using it for Mario Kart, you're gonna upgrade somehow differently. And then, for example, if I go to any of you guys' houses with my little amiibo, I can just load my character on there.
It's almost like a one-time purchase DLC that potentially will go to multiple games. It'll be interesting to see how that ends up being implemented.
the game a lot of people were talking about from the Nintendo show was the new Splatoon game that they premiered. Which I don't know really if I see myself playing that game, but a lot of people loved it and they think it was the best game shown.
That's a
What's that
Good
game about?
multiplayer game. It's you're just two teams of squid-like human hybrid creatures, and you have paint guns basically. And the point of the game is to mark the most territories. Two teams facing off. You've got two different color paints, so you're going to be running around squirting, and you can hurt and affect other people to slow them down. So and whoever has the most paint on screen when time is up wins. So
That's pretty cool.
I like original games. That seems
That's an
pretty
original
cool.
game, right?
it'll be cool to play with friends, I think.
Yeah.
I think Nintendo, as far as Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, I think they won the C3. I'm still not going to buy a Wii U, but I'm really close, and I feel kind of bad about not buying it. But I mean, as far as the games that they showed and announced, they had a great lineup. They, have a lot of good, stable games coming out again, and then also trying out some new things, kind of like this Captain Toad's Adventure, where you play Toad and Mario levels that you rotate, but the gist is Toad can't jump, so you're helpless. Like even a Goomba coming straight at you, is problematic.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, there were about one Captain Toad level per world in Super Mario 3D World, and it's one where you have to use the gamepad. You can blow on it to make things fly up on a propeller and stuff like that.
Seriously? That
And
sounds
you can
cool.
tap and open secret things on the walls. It was pretty good. Judging from what I played in Super Mario 3D World, I'm hoping this is not a full-priced game. It seems like they can't really get a $60 game out of that.
We'll see, man.
But,
It's Nintendo.
I'd definitely buy it. It was fun, and I like puzzle games. That's what this will be.
Did they announce anything about Mario Party?
Yes,
Mario Party.
Mario Party 10.
I love
Yeah.
Mario Party.
It'll be interesting to see how they bring it into the Wii U. I mean, they haven't had the title yet.
Well, they have
specifically.
Wii U Party, which is basically Mario Party without Mario characters. I haven't played it yet, but I don't know what type of stuff they have on there.
The twist for Mario Party 10 is that you can play with the gamepad, and you're playing as Bowser,
Yeah.
and your goal is to just screw with everybody else.
That's
So
cool.
And it's basically 5-player at that point, because you can have 4 Wiimotes against 1 gamepad.
That sounds cool.
Something new, at least. And then I guess the big one, one that at least made me kind of excited, and Nintendo made a big deal, was the Super Smash Brothers announcement. And now we're bringing back, we're bringing characters from other universes. So they're bringing Sonic into the game, and they're
Sonic's been
bringing
in there.
Yeah.
which is one,
The Wii.
The last one.
the last one.
Yeah.
Did they bring the levels?
Yeah.
All right. Well, it looked really cool. As far as I had not seen it.
But regardless, you're right. They have Mega Man,
Yeah.
Pac-Man.
And Pac-Man.
They have Pac-Man?
Yes. And the coolest thing about
There's still more
Pac-Man,
that they haven't announced
Yeah.
yet,
the power-ups for Pac-Man look outstanding. He gets to use the power-ups are like other arcade games. So there's one power-up that he does that's like a Galaga style. Like he gets a little ship that that beams to take your ship. That I think that's one of the coolest videos. That got me excited about the series. And again, contemplating whether I should get a Wii U, but it's gonna take a little bit more than just these kind of games. Maybe a new Star Fox.
They're actually doing a new Star Fox.
That's, yeah.
Well, what you guys?
Miyamoto's designing it.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's definitely.
I don't know if he was involved in the Super Nintendo and 64 versions or not.
I mean, I think those kind of games are where the real gamepad with its own screen, it's really going to take shape. Is when you got the front of the you see the plane flying around in your screen, but you can see inside the cockpit from the from the gamepad. I think that would be really cool.
They also said they're testing out co-op, 2-player co-op, where one person pilots using the TV screen and another person is a gunner using the gamepad.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I hope they have a Hoth level.
Which they did announce the new Battlefront series of Star Wars games, and the graphics just look outstanding. I mean, we're now in the day and age that just graphics doesn't wow anybody. For me, this game, the Battlefront little tease that they showed, outstanding. I mean, it was way better than the movies. I definitely want to please remake the whole movies with the graphics, because that was way too cool. The amount of detail that they put on there. So. And
they're going back. They're using the original trilogy
as the background, yeah,
for those new games.
Definitely, lots came out. No new systems. I guess at this point, no new hardware. I think this was a whole software E3. Nothing new. I mean, the Xbox and the PS3 did tease the Project Oculus and whichever other virtual reality.
Some little handheld Android game thing, didn't they? Look like kind of like an Xbox controller with a screen attached to it. Anybody see that?
I missed that. There's NVIDIA Shield. Almost sounds like what you're describing, but that's been out for a little bit.
Oh, has it? That was my first time seeing it, so maybe they announced new games or whatever.
I mean, there was a lot going on in the C3. I know we focused a lot on Nintendo. That's because it was, the most recent and kind of that showed the most. Everything else was kind of pre-leaked, and a new Tomb Raider was announced, kind of expected to come out.
New Halo,
a new Uncharted. Those were big announcements, but they were
Star Fox was leaked by
kind of
Time
anticipated.
Magazine.
So definitely check out all of our E3 coverage, and let us know what your favorite game that you saw during the press conferences were.
Yeah, definitely.
So the most anticipated game for 2014, in my opinion, is Super Smash Brothers. I recently got a Wii U, courtesy of the guys you're hearing and others. So I got a Wii U recently, and I cannot wait to play.
You can name drop. I mean, people listen to this thing.
I mean, Drew, Guillermo, and Chris really.
Say thank you.
So I got the Wii U, and I'm really looking forward to Super Smash Brothers. I've loved every single iteration. I've played the crap out of every single one of them. I have locked all of the characters. So that is my most anticipated game, especially with Guillermo talking about Pac-Man and all his powers. I play as Ganondorf and Ike. So those are my two favorite characters from the recent Wii iteration.
Are you willing to buy it on your 3DS this fall, and then again on your Wii U this winter?
I'm not gonna play it on the 3DS. I don't feel like it gives me the my preferred way to play Smash Brothers is the Wiimote and the nunchuck. Like, it gives you the best like flexibility to play. I can't imagine doing that on the 3DS.
You want my most anticipated game?
Yes, sir. We want it.
I am not sure whether or not this is a 2014 release, but my most anticipated game is Yoshi's Woolly World. I loved Kirby Epic Yarn. It really surprised me because I was really nervous about playing it when I learned that you can't die. And
spoiler alert!
I don't know.
We've talked about this.
The game's like 4 years old now.
There's no time on spoilers.
The true. The lost track. Thanks, guys.
So Woolly World, you like
Woolly
the
World, yeah. I
genre?
don't know if that's going to be the same case in Woolly World, whether or not you can't die. But what was challenging for me with Epic Yarn was completing the game 100%. Like you get to keep track of how much of the extra stuff you've gotten, and it gives you a percentage. And I remember the last 2% I spent just hours trying to find what the hell was it that I missed. I went back to every world and
What was it?
I don't even remember.
Did you miss
It
a button?
was,
Did you miss a button somewhere?
A secret exit, or I don't know, like you have to beat a boss in a certain amount of time or without getting hit. I don't even remember.
What?
But that's what's challenging without dying. And if they do it with Woolly World again, I'll be okay with that. And Yoshi's a more popular character than Kirby. I like him more than Kirby personally. So,
yeah.
I'm excited and to see it in beautiful HD. It's going to be nice.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for me, really the game, and I kind of just briefly touched on it, Battlefront, just seeing those scenes and just bringing the original universe of the movies into the video game again. I played both first two Battlefronts, and those were very fun. Just, the little bit that I got to touch on a familiar scene. It was really cool gameplay. So definitely I'm looking forward to that one. And then I guess now that you guys told me about this Star Fox, it would be really cool to see where they take that with the new system. So
coming out of E3, I was really hyped about Destiny. This is Bungie's new first-person shooter sci-fi game. Bungie made Halo. They have a great pedigree. Activision's put a lot of money into this. It looks fantastic. This past weekend, I got into the Destiny Alpha. It's not a bad game whatsoever. I really like the combat and the gunplay. But everything surrounding it is very slow, like loading, going to a world and like having to go to a store and like, oh, you got all these items, now figure out what they do and equip them, and oh, you gotta have these many slots and you're not this level, and oh, you don't have enough dexterity to like equip this, and it's very cumbersome. I hope they flush it out, and some of the UI just felt unnecessarily complicated.
How do you
RPG elements to it? Is that what?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely it's Borderlands meets Halo.
Well, how do you feel about the fact that there's no split screen?
I only have one controller. I'll probably never buy a second controller, so I mean that doesn't bother me.
Yeah, but from the guys who made split screen cool again with Halo, and these guys are saying, well, our game is way too beautiful to look at. You need two consoles to really appreciate it if you want to play multiplayer.
I think split screen is dead. I mean, except for I know the Wii U, Nintendo is couch co-op. I mean, that's where couch co-op lives, and that's where it's going to continue to do well. I think that the games that you do see that are multiplayer, couch co-op for everybody else, don't split the screen. Everybody needs to be together in the same area and move together, kind of like old Contra or those Nintendo games before split screen really came to the forefront. And I'm okay with that. I mean, I mostly play games online. And that actually kind of segues into what's actually my most anticipated game now, Far Cry 4. This game looks beautiful graphically. The gunplay. I mean, you can jump and go into basically like a flying squirrel suit, like a ranger, and glide around mountains. You can cause elephants to stampede through villages, and there's just a lot of interesting elements and mechanics. But what really kind of sold me on it is taking kind of the co-op element. Like if I buy a copy of the game and Edgar doesn't have it, he can play through PSN with me.
That's
no
awesome.
kidding.
Without owning a copy.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's the first time I've ever heard of anything like that happening.
No, they did that before with I can't remember the system, but they did that before.
Really?
You could just
DS though.
with the DS, yeah, with Mario Kart. When Mario Kart for the DS came out, that was the big selling point, that only one person needed to own it, and as long as you were in the proximity of it.
You have to be in the same place.
Yeah, in the proximity of it.
That's pretty cool. I really like that.
So, I mean, it looks like a good game. Looks like Ubisoft is doing a great job and really kind of upping the ante from previous entries. And, great story seems to be kind of flushed out with that. They released kind of the first 5 minutes and showcased the villain. And, I think that'll be a good quality game, hopefully.
What about, was it No Man's Space or something?
No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky?
So this game...
It's pretty interesting. Like, outside of the Nintendo world, it's really the only thing that struck my fancy.
So this game is all about space exploration, and I don't know how they did it, but the developers say they don't know how big the universe is. So I guess they like programmed it to think for itself and like build its own planets and its own worlds, and like you don't know what you'll land on. And it's kind of a weird combination of games. You're basically an explorer, first person, and you can survey the land, get minerals, hop in a spaceship, fly around, go to a different place. But while you're in space, you might run into other explorers or larger craft that are trying to take you down. So there are like these aerial space combat missions intertwined with, hey, checking out this weird brontosaurus over in this lava world or whatever.
That's
happens
cool.
to be made. So besides that, this past week, what we've been playing, what we've been watching, as quickly as you can. I've been playing Watch Dogs. It is not a bad game by any stretch of the imagination. It's also not a good game either. It's just kind of there. I might keep playing it just because I don't really have anything else on my PS4 at this point. But I mean, it's really Assassin's Creed kind of meets Grand Theft Auto, and really doesn't have much of a personality of its own. It's just a clone.
Good enough.
I finished the game that Chris let me borrow, Infamous Second Son, for the PlayStation 4, and I thought it was beautiful. I love the open world aspect. I love that the PlayStation 4 never makes me load any, like when we're jumping from one part of the map to the other, it never loads. It's like a Grand Theft Auto, but without killing. You can kill, but I'm sorry, without any of like the gritty parts. So you can't steal cars, you can't kill prostitutes, you can't you can't do all of the bad stuff. Like it's a Grand Theft Auto light. But that's not a knock against the game. The game was beautiful. I loved the controls. That's something that I finished recently. And now that I got the Wii U, I'm going to start playing Mario Kart. And so that's what I've been playing. And of course, I always play my stupid Call of Duty game that I'll never get good at. And speaking of anticipated games, Advanced Warfare is one, of course, that I'm going to buy because I'm an idiot. And I bought all of them, even though I'm terrible at them. It's still a bro shooter. I love it. It's a great stress reliever. It doesn't matter how.
I think it's a stress enhancer. If I play, it's like, why did it keep shooting at me?
Yeah. So
just respawn.
That's right. I just loaded.
I've been watching Luther. That's a great BBC series starring Idris Elba. Sakurai and I just finished series 2. And then, unfortunately, Game of Thrones is now over. So that was something that we watched. And, so that's it for me.
What I've been playing is Mario Kart 8. It is amazing, I think. I would put it in the top 3 of the franchise.
Top 3?
Yeah.
I mean, there's only been 5 games.
There's like 7.
Double Dash?
Or 8, actually. It's called Mario Kart 8.
Oh, it is Mario Kart
8. I've had it since release day, and I haven't tried online yet, so I don't know how that works. I'm not much of an online player.
You will
I love
now.
playing with my friends, in person. It's maybe the only multiplayer game I really play at all. And the downfall, I guess, is the battle. I personally have never played battle since N64. N64 is the only one I ever played battle on. But they incorporated battle onto racetracks rather than in arenas.
Right.
So it's really almost impossible to master. No matter how good you are, you can't go turning around on racetracks and running into the dirt. It's timed. Rather than not who first runs out of balloons, it's 12 people on the track, and it's just whoever has the most hits wins. So that's a little strange, but for me, I didn't care about battle. I love this game. I give it a perfect score because Mario Kart's my favorite non-RPG really that I play. So as far as what I'm watching, I've just started the new season of Orange is the New Black. I've only seen 2 episodes so far. It's pretty on par with the first season, in my opinion. Nothing new, nothing out of the ordinary. So.
All right. Me, yeah, I've been watching the new season of Orange is the New Black. I caught it on from the first season. That's really all I'm really watching on TV these days. And then mainly watching online clips. I found a couple cool ones that I just wanted to mention. Epic rap battles. Weird Al Yankovic just joined that group. So he just did his first epic rap battles with Isaac Newton against Bill Nye. And there's definitely a spoiler in there that I will not mention, but look for it. And then we just, as a group, we just watched a video of OK Go, which they're known for their innovative kind of videos. They had their first breakout video was them dancing on the treadmills, and then after that it was the Rube Goldberg machine. And then now they have this really cool, visually cool looking video. So definitely check it out. I'm sure just go to YouTube. It's one of the most viewed right now. It just premiered about a couple hours ago, and it's already on the most viewed. So I encourage it.
All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's conversation. If you have any feedback for us, please let us know. Rate us on iTunes. Subscribe. If you have any questions, you can email us at nerdexp@gmail.com. Level up, friends.